How to fix AMD black screen crash. Welcome back to Teknobalta. During our extensive lab testing with the Ryzen 5 7600X and AMD Radeon RX 7600, we encountered a severe system halt while playing titles like GTA Online and Rainbow Six Siege. The game would freeze entirely, followed by a 3-second black screen and an automated system beep indicating a display driver timeout. Teknobalta's diagnostic tools revealed a critical LiveKernelEvent 141 error in the Windows reliability history, alongside stackhash application crashes. Today, we are sharing the exclusive internal solutions our engineering team used to completely eliminate these AMD driver timeouts. Our first breakthrough came from isolating the display output exclusively to the dedicated graphics card. We found that the motherboard integrated graphics can heavily conflict with the dedicated graphics card, triggering sudden black screens during intense rendering. To deploy this fix, reboot your system into the BIOS, navigate to the Advanced menu, and permanently disable the integrated graphics configuration. Teknobalta's analysis confirmed that standard driver uninstalls leave behind corrupt registry keys that directly cause the LiveKernelEvent 141 crash. You must download Display Driver Uninstaller and boot your operating system entirely into safe mode to properly execute a deep clean. Running this tool in safe mode strips out all conflicting display driver remnants, creating a pristine environment for our next crucial system modifications. During our investigation, we noticed the Windows Update service silently overriding our freshly installed display drivers in the background. To stop this aggressive behavior, press the Windows key, type Advanced System Settings, and navigate to the Hardware tab. Click on Device Installation Settings, and firmly select No to block Microsoft from automatically downloading incompatible legacy graphics drivers. With the system isolated, our technicians found that installing the full AMD Adrenalin software suite can sometimes introduce unnecessary overlay bloat. We highly recommend downloading the latest certified driver and selecting the minimal install option during the initial setup wizard. This installs only the core display components and essential control panel, drastically reducing the chance of a mid-game architecture crash. Our deep dive into the Windows Desktop Window Manager revealed that the multi-plane overlay feature is a massive catalyst for visual black screens. This background feature attempts to optimize windowed gaming, but frequently crashes the entire graphics rendering pipeline. We solved this by opening the registry editor, navigating to the DWM folder, and creating a new DWORD entry named Overlay Test Mode, set to the value of 5. The infamous beep you hear during the black screen is the Windows timeout detection and recovery system forcibly restarting your graphics processor. Our engineers discovered that Windows is often too impatient, killing the active process before it can render a complex frame in Rainbow Six Siege. By navigating to the graphics driver's registry key and adding a TDR delayed word set to a value of 10, we give the hardware ample time to recover naturally. While Smart Access Memory usually provides a performance boost, our testing showed it can cause severe memory addressing faults on this specific hardware combination. When the processor attempts to access the entire video memory pool simultaneously during intense GTA Online sessions, the driver panics and fails. Open your main tuning software, go to the Performance tab, and toggle off Smart Access Memory to stabilize the memory controller. Background applications heavily utilize your dedicated hardware for processing acceleration, silently stealing resources, and causing unexpected voltage spikes. Our team confirmed that having communication applications running with hardware acceleration enabled will instantly trigger the driver timeout. Navigate to the advanced settings of every background application you use and explicitly disable all forms of hardware acceleration. Corrupted shader caches are a primary suspect when specific games output a stackhash error alongside an immediate system freeze. When the game engine attempts to read a broken shader file from your storage drive, the rendering pipeline instantly collapses. Press the Windows key, type Disk Cleanup, select your primary drive, and check the box for DirectX Shader Cache to aggressively purge these corrupted files. Our hardware diagnostics revealed that factory voltage curves on modern graphics cards can sometimes overshoot, causing momentary thermal or power instability. By slightly reducing the core voltage, we stabilized the direct power delivery without sacrificing any measurable gaming performance. Open your primary tuning tab, select Custom Tuning, and carefully lower the maximum voltage slider by 30 to 50 millivolts. Alongside voltage spikes, we noticed the graphics core aggressively boosting its clock speeds beyond stable silicon limits during loading screens. This rapid fluctuation in core frequency directly correlates with the LiveKernelEvent hardware crash parameters. In your tuning menu, enable the advanced control parameters and reduce the maximum frequency state by roughly 100 MHz. Ultra-low power state is a power-saving feature that puts your secondary or idle graphics components into a deep sleep mode. Teknobalta found that when a game suddenly demands maximum performance, the processor fails to wake up from this sleep state fast enough, resulting in a black screen. Open Registry Editor, search for Enable ULPs, and change its value data from 1 to 0 to force the card to remain highly responsive. Windows Fast Startup uses a hybrid hibernation file to boot your machine faster, but it also preserves broken driver states across standard reboots. If your display driver crashes once, Fast Startup ensures that the corrupted kernel is reloaded the next time you turn on your machine. Navigate to the power options in the Legacy Control panel, click Choose what the power buttons do, and completely uncheck the Fast Startup feature. Your motherboard attempts to save electricity by cutting power to the main interface slot when it thinks the graphics card is idle. We discovered that this aggressive power management severs the physical connection between the motherboard and the card during brief rendering pauses. Open your active power plan settings, expand the PCI Express category, and change the link state power management strictly to off. While variable refresh rate technology is excellent for smooth gameplay, mismatched sync ranges can completely desynchronize your monitor from your hardware. Our display testing showed that sudden frame drops cause the synchronization module to panic, dropping the display signal entirely and causing a black screen. Open your monitor hardware menu and the software display settings to turn the variable refresh rate features off completely for diagnostic purposes. A damaged Windows kernel will fail to communicate correctly with the external display driver architecture. Our software engineers always run native deployment. Open Command Prompt as an administrator and execute the System File Checker command, followed directly by the deployment. The modern motherboard platform requires rigorous firmware updates to properly manage interface lane stability and processor memory controllers. An outdated firmware version will fail to properly route heavy data streams between your processor and your graphics card under maximum loads. Visit your motherboard manufacturer official support page, download the latest stable revision, and properly flash it using a dedicated external drive. System memory instability is notoriously misdiagnosed as a graphics card failure because memory errors corrupt the direct data sent to the video memory buffer. During our stress tests, we found that aggressively tuned memory overclocking profiles directly triggered the timeout error beep. Boot into your interface menu and temporarily disable your memory overclocking profiles, returning the modules to their base speeds to ensure absolute stability. Many system builders make the critical mistake of using a single daisy-chained power cable to supply their high-performance rendering hardware. Teknobalta's hardware lab verified that a single cable cannot deliver transient power spikes fast enough, starving the hardware and causing an instant black screen. Ensure that you are using two completely separate power cables directly from your power supply unit to the graphics hardware. If all software and power configurations are perfect, the physical video memory modules on the graphics card may be permanently degrading. We rely on rigorous synthetic benchmarks to push the video memory to its absolute thermal and capacity limits to identify hard hardware faults. Run a dedicated memory testing tool for at least 1 hour to verify if your hardware requires an immediate warranty replacement. By applying these advanced engineering techniques, our system is now running GTA Online and Rainbow Six Siege with flawless stability. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more.